Hello, YouTubers. Anyways, okay, so I've seen some pretty crazy videos out there on YouTube, and I'm like, why not share the love? Share the love. Anyways, today I'm gonna talk about some stuff that I did while I was locked up. A lot of it I won't talk about it because I don't want to incriminate myself. But nonetheless, I'm gonna share the love. And I'm sure a lot of you people have heard about spreads. Now we're talking about spreads that you eat, okay? Or okay, food that you eat. It's AKA called a spread. Now a spread consists of many different things. I was incarcerated 13 and a half years in the penitentiary in TDCJ and federal prison around the United States of America. So I got to travel I got to see states that most people don't ever get to see. So I thought that was pretty cool, considering that, hey, it was a free ride. Not really. I take my incarcerations very serious. Some people don't realize that it can be very overwhelming psychologically. It can define you as a person just make you either a really bitter person or you find yourself. One of the things that I learned is keeping myself busy, keeping my mind occupied. Because once you get locked up, your friends are not your friends. Those people you got high with, you can't get high with in the penitentiary. Also, the friends that you have are not going to write you. Yeah, you might get one letter out of 1,000. Only people going to write you is your family. If you have a mother and father, fortunately I had just a mother, and I had my family who supported me during these awful, awful times. During my era of incarcerations, there was issues like Vitapro. For any of you that know anything about Vitapro, it was a Canadian meat substitute, and what it was is you added hamburger meat, right? You would cook your hamburger meat, and then you would just add this Vitapro substitute, and it would triple or quadruple the amount of meat. So we were eating food that blew up, and I'm going to tell you something. During that time, I seen a lot of people flop over backwards, go into the ER because their stomachs. Can't really confirm this, but this Vitapro, the prison system was taking advantage of it so bad that we were used as guinea pigs. And there was a few lawsuits out there, none that I actually followed. I should have, because heck, I also filed a lawsuit against TDCJ because it was inhumane. I worked for the LS2 unit. It was now known as the Estelle unit in Huntsville, Texas. And the whole fleet of pigs or swine, they died overnight because one of the inmates gave the pigs, instead of giving them the food or mixtures of foods, they ended up giving them like a bunch of Vitapro, and all these pigs ended up dying and their stomachs blew up. So if it did that to them, just imagine what it did to us. Personally, I think that's probably why I have so many stomach problems, is because of that. Maybe I should look into it and file a lawsuit and win millions and millions of dollars so I can give it away to everyone. Anyways, so one of the things I wanted to talk about is the spreads that we made. We used this right here. Ramen noodles. You know ramen noodle soups. Back then, you can buy them for 20 cents a soup. And now I think they're like 40 cents a soup. Anyways, these things here is how we survived in prison, because during that era of Vitapro, the food there was just horrible. They took a lot of things away. I've heard stories of people bashing the inmates because, oh, they did the crime, now they do the time. A lot of people that were there in the 60s and the 70s, there were many murders, people that were really hurt. But anyways, enough of that. I really didn't want to talk about prison, although the food I'm going to show you guys is a prison meal. But anyways, you get a commissary if you have a hustle or you have family that sends you money. And I had both. I mean, I drew, I did poetry, and my work is all over the world. And I'd say that literally, it really is. People in Jamaica, Japan, freaking China. I mean, you name it. I probably have a rose or a portrait or a poem that I wrote. And what I would do is I would get people's stories and I would sit down and I say, here, give me a story of an example, your wife, how you met her and what you did with her, memorable things that only you and her have in common in the intimate part of y'all's relationship. And so I would get all these factors down and I would write a poem based on their testimony or that person's experience with his wife. And so, I do have, I wish I had them saved or made copies of them, but I didn't. Nonetheless, one of the things I wanted to share is if you were fortunate enough, like I was, and you had a hustle, you were able to make commissary. One of the things I wanted to share with you is the ramen noodle soup. Now, we're limited in there, and so you do what you do in order to survive. Okay, 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 okay. So, one of the things that we would, what's the word when you experiment, was a can of tuna fish. First, you cook your soup. Okay. Now, there's my soup. It's got the tuna fish in there. I know it looks disgusting, but overall, it's pretty darn good. And I'll tell you what, my children, and I know families of people that were incarcerated who brought this exact same spread out into the free world, and their children love it. One thing for you moms that don't like to cook, that generation is actually leaving because we all depend on fast foods. Fast foods. So here is what I use. Whipped cream. Cool Whipped. Miracle Whip. Mayonnaise. Miracle Whip. This right here. So you put a little bit of Miracle Whip. You know how you make tuna fish? It's the same thing. You're going to just cook your ramen noodle soup. And now if you got a family of 5, okay, you get 2 soups and you cook it and let it sit for 4 or 5 minutes in the one of these plastic cups or plastic bowls, and you put the top or the lid on there. That sucker's gonna blow up, literally blow up. So you get you a can of soup. Another thing you can use is, one of my favorites is the Wolf Brand chili. Okay, now this is just 2 options that we had while we were incarcerated, but the things that you can make with this is just unlimited. But right now, today, I'm going to show you how to make the fish ramen noodle, whatever, meal. And so you just cook your soup, unlike all your other soups, and let it swell up. And once it swells up, then you just add your can of tuna fish in there. Okay, so I've already done that. Now y'all just mixed it. Now I know it looks disgusting, guys. I mean, everybody that I talk to is like, oh, that looks so disgusting. But actually, when you taste it, you're gonna say, oh, that's pretty good. So anyways, I'm gonna put a little bit of this mayonnaise inside of it, and then we're gonna pause the video right now and let me just mix it up, and then you can look at it. That way it'll probably look a little bit better than what it does right now. Okay, so I'm back. Now, one of the things that I do a lot is I do what they call J words of the day, and today's J word is called Tuna-ala-JAY. Now, it sounds French with a little bit of Mexican kick in it, but all you do, guys, this is all you do, is you get your ramen noodle soup, you cook it, you add your tuna fish in there, okay, and then you add your mayo. You can get onions, pickles, you can get cheese, you do all them things, that's it, Okay, once you mix them and combine them all together, bro, then you got Tuna-ala-JAY. And the reason I call it a-la-J is because it's a-la-J. Get it? Like a-la-J. So anyways, this is what it looks like. I know it doesn't really look too good, but check this out. Now, you know when you put cheese on top of something, that just is the bomb, you know. So let's do that right now. Now let me tell you, you moms and you single dads or single mothers that have a lot of kids, like the Mexican families that got lots of kids to say. Now I'll tell you right now, this has a lot of calories in it. So if you're trying to lose weight, buddy, don't even try this at home. Because I promise you, it's going to be pretty caloristic. Okay, J word of the day, caloristic. So here we go. There's your cheese on top of the tuna fish and ramen noodle soup. Usually I put onions in there because I love onions and I like mixing it with my tuna fish. But for all you guys that love tuna fish and love ramen noodle soups, I promise you this will it would be excellent for you. I recommend just putting it down for a minute to melt the cheese. And once you melt the cheese, like I said, I don't have no onions, or I would actually cut some onions for you so I can cry. Anyways, I know I'm acting a little foolish, but like I said, I've been watching YouTube videos. There's all kinds of crazy stuff out there. Oh, look, I do got onions. Yeah. But a lot of people, you know, when you make your tuna fish, you like, you know, normally I just like tuna fish with eggs, bacon, onions, pickles. Some people like lettuce in their tuna. I cannot stand lettuce in mine. But anyways, as you wait for this cheese to melt, I'm going to go ahead and put some onions in mine, and I'm going to have me a meal. Now again, if you have a big family, like I said, you single moms, single dads, or just families in general, everybody works, nobody wants to cook anything, man, this literally takes like freaking 4 or 5 minutes to make, and you can feed freaking the whole Mexican familia. So I just wanted to share this with you guys. I thought about actually, if I ever got rich, to make a restaurant based on prison meals and prison meals only. Because I can tell you, man, there's a lot of stuff that we used to feed guards. You know, some of the guards, females and males, you know, they would look at us cooking this stuff and they're like, oh my God, that looks disgusting. But once they tried it, they were like, this is pretty darn good, buddy. Pretty darn good. Okay. So anyways, here's the melted cheese. It don't look too great, but you know, it almost looks like a gourmet meal. Made from J-Flow, Triple Fo. So if you like this video, please share and subscribe. I'm going to be making more dumb videos with a lot of interesting factors, with really good stuff that you could actually utilize. So again, thank you guys. Have a great night. God bless you, and we'll see you soon.